In this world, not everything has an explanation. When we encounter something that is beyond our comprehension, we may use the internet or literature to find solutions. If it fails, perhaps we'll ask a knowledgeable companion. Additionally, if we're still left with inquiries, we may get in touch with researchers. However, even scientists may find themselves at a loss. That's precisely what took place with the findings that are highlighted in this film. First, remember to like and please subscribe so that you can participate in our squad for notifications. The Iron Cup number 1. A completely puzzling finding was made in 1912 at a coal mine in Wilburton, Oklahoma. It was a flawless iron cup embedded in an expected coal lump around 300 million years old. The man who discovered it, Frank Kennard, described the event, but his report continues to be the only piece of proof, throwing a long-lasting shadow of doubt due to the absence of scientific validation and the ensuing enigmatic artifact itself being missing. Several hypotheses have been put forth to describe how the cup got into the coal, including the potential for it to have previously been submerged in water that subsequently hardened around it. According to commentator Mark Isaac, the cup, made of a substance that looks like cast iron, could be a tool from the 18th century, perhaps previously employed by a tinsmith or bullet caster. But in spite of a number of other justifications provided by skeptics, none have been able to provide an adequate explanation of how such an item became embedded in the substance, so old. This strange discovery, similar to similar ones, is frequently seen as a direct opposition to traditional views in history and archaeology and has garnered special attention among those who believe in ancient extraterrestrial theories. The Pella Curse Tablet number 2. The Pella Curse Tablet. The word ancient curse rarely brings something nice to mind, but in reality, not every ancient curse was recorded with malevolent purpose. Take the Pella Curse Tablet, for instance. In spite of its rather threatening moniker, archaeologists think that this was actually a so-called love curse written by a woman named Dina, who wanted to create a man named Doniphan, fall in love with her. This curse was written in the idiom of Doric Greek on a lead scroll from approximately 2,400 years ago. The artifact was found in Pella, Macedonia, in 1986. Beyond providing an intriguing look into the passionate lifestyles of people over 2,000 of years ago, the tablet's Doric Greek additionally demonstrates that ancient Macedonian was in reality a dialect of Northwest Greek instead of a unique language of its own. When Dina, who authored her curse, was incredibly particular about what she wants. She desired Doniphan will wed her rather than Thetis, another woman. Additionally, she likewise desired to age with him unless one day she did, Dionysiphon, go back, unearth, and unfold the scroll herself. The intriguing thing is that even when she attempted to entice Doniphan to leave Thetis, Dina gave herself a way out in case she altered her mind. The Indus Mysteries Third, the enigma surrounding the unimpressive. 4,500 years ago, the area that is currently known as northern India was the center of the civilization of the Indus, which extended eastward into Pakistan as it exists now. Archaeologists have discovered more than 2,000 web pages for Indus, yet nothing remains more perplexing for researchers than the enigmatic Indus script that shows up on the stone seals that this mysterious culture left behind. Do the symbols appear on these seals have some sort of writing on them? A language? Nobody knows for sure. Additionally, even so, more than 6,000 samples have been discovered. Humanity hasn't yet succeeded in interpreting them. In addition to the seals, these symbols additionally appear on ceramics, tools, weapons, and tablets, frequently with illustrations. Several of the recurring glyphs are usually an obvious indication of written language, although not frequently enough for professionals to be certain that they are delivering a genuine message. Perhaps they are just describing the objects on which they are located, or they might be a comprehensive chronicle of Indus civilization, imprisoned in a script that we are unable to decode. The Aindara Temple. The Temple of Aindara is number 4. Syria is home to numerous historic and stunning temples, each with a unique, fascinating tale. However, the Temple of Aindara has long had a unique place in charm. The primary cause is the existence of extremely enormous footprints left by humans embedded at the temple's entryway. These symbols have spent at least as much time there as the temple itself, over 3,300 years, and their place of origin is the focus of intense discussion. Archaeologists and scientists think the temple's builders carved them to symbolize the march of the gods into the sacred space within. Nonetheless, some local myths describe a major god visiting a temple who left those giants with clawed feet footsteps in the ray. An additional school of thought believes that the builders were giants in their own right, and that their own footprints are clearly visible. There are innumerable stories concerning giants residing in this region of the world in antiquity, because these traces are consistently the first piece of proof for those who think that such tales are true. Regretfully, the temple endured severe damage from the first Turkish airstrike in 2018. Yet, the enigmatic traces have lived unharmed. The statues of Palopeia V, the statues of Palopeia, the statues of Paulian, often called stone idols. They are mysterious old sculptures strewn throughout southern Siberia, Russia, and everywhere on the route to Mongolia. Largely unknown to the external environment, these statues mostly show warriors who are men, outfitted with armor, helmets, and firearms, although female characters are frequently depicted with caps on and carrying handbags. The beginnings and culture of these sculptures' significance endures, veiled in mystery with a lot of unresolved issues pertaining to their production. The custom of building these anthropomorphisms has been around since the Middle and Western Bronze Age in Asia, the 4th millennium BCE, thereafter taken up by the Sumerians and the Chinas. The craft of creating these stelae needs to be proficient in their profession. Using several types of wood and stone emerged in the early Turkic world and abundantly dispersed throughout the Eurasian steppe. But the practice suddenly vanished with the collapse of the Pelopians and the quick dissemination of Islam. These monuments were frequently positioned atop historic burial mounds and perhaps served in both political and religious capacities and purposes, which only served to increase their enigma. The statues of Palopeia symbolize a significant but underappreciated aspect of history, and maintaining them is crucial for upcoming generations. Odd writings in Fontainebleau's woodland strangely. Number 6. Inscriptions found in the woodland of Fontainebleau. Apparently, an unnamed civilization used to reside in the French forest of Fontainebleau countless years ago, and they might have been aware of the animal world that is much older than their time ought to have permitted. The whole woodland contains a wealth of archaeological treasures, such as cave paintings of humanoids with 3 fingers and mysterious carvings positioned in 2 small spaces for an individual to stand. The most odd of all are boulders and carved rocks dispersed across the forest. A few show human faces, which is odd enough, but numerous others blatantly demonstrate exotic creatures, such as elephants. Elephants are not indigenous to France, and they definitely did not exist in the nation for 1,000 years ago. These rocks were sculpted years ago. How did the ancients understand what an elephant looked like? And how did they fare, capable of molding these enormous stones? If we could, maybe we would know the solution and decipher the displayed textual language in close proximity to numerous cave sculptures. Regretfully, we haven't succeeded in that, and there's a good chance we never will. The Mizora stone number 7, the stone circle of Mizora. We next proceed to the Mizora stone, the enigmatic prehistoric stone circle monument in Morocco that has captured researchers and archaeologists for years. There are 168 standing stones in the circle. The tallest stone is more than 15 feet high. It is thought that these stones have been positioned here for about 9,000 years ago, which makes it among the oldest stone circles in the world. In spite of the thousands of years, the stones are still there, exceptionally well preserved, with detailed intricate patterns and sculptures still apparent on their exteriors. The objective of the stone circle of Mizora is still a mystery, although some academics think it possibly employed for astronomical religious rites or observations. According to others, it might have served a larger useful function, indicating the seasons or serving as a community meeting location. Situated in a secluded region of Morocco is the location that is the subject of continuous research and conservation endeavors. It is still a well-liked location for researchers and tourists from all across the world, attracted to its timeless beauty and its unsolved secrets. Follow the channel and activate alerts so you'll always get notified as soon as a new video is released. I appreciate you viewing and seeing the following time.